What is HIIT training? Now, this is one of the most powerful and most misunderstood fitness methods in the fucking world. HIIT, which is HIIT, stands for high intensity interval training. Basically, it alternates short bursts of maximum effort exercise with a brief recovery period. So a classic format is 20 seconds of all out sprinting. We're talking balls to the fucking wall, and then 10 seconds of rest. And then repeat that 8 times. That is called Tabata. Then we have other methods, which is kind of like a minute fast as you can, a minute off, or whatever. There's various ways to do it. There's also another one of like 40 seconds work as hard as you can, and then 20 seconds rest. As I said, there's many ways to program it. But why does HIIT training work so well? 3 reasons. Firstly, efficiency. A 20-minute session can burn as many calories or more than a 45-minute steady state jog. Secondly, there's the afterburn effect, where your metabolism stays elevated for hours after the workout ends, which means you're burning additional calories at rest. And third, it preserves and builds muscle whilst burning fat, unlike long duration cardio, which can be found to break down muscle. Think of long distance running. HIIT workouts can use any fucking exercise. You could do sprinting, you could do cycling, jumping jacks, burpees, rowing. The key is the high intensity phases must be genuinely hard. We're talking 85 to 95% of your maximum effort. I've run some HIIT classes where everything was done body weight, jogging on the spot, high knees, jumping jacks, squats, pulses, lunges, push-ups, etc. Remember, but all of the work portions of that training was 85 to 95% of people's maximum effort. Now, beginners can start with 1 to 2 HIIT sessions per week. Something to note is HIIT is incredibly demanding on your body, so recovery is essential. What I do not recommend is for you to do something such as very heavy lifting, let's just say 4 times a week, and for you to use HIIT as a style of cardiovascular training, because what you'll find is the HIIT training will impede your recovery from the heavy weights. If you're not doing heavy weights and we're just doing HIIT training, that's fine. If you wanted to do HIIT training as your form of cardio and you wanted to mix weights in there, then maybe you might want to dial down the intensity of the weight training so that the two can work together. But normally, I wouldn't suggest doing weights as well as any form of HIIT training. I would normally suggest your weight training, which for me, in my silly mind, is a form of HIIT training, because you have periods of time where you're doing your sets, your reps and your sets, and then there's periods of time where you're resting, and you're looking at time and you're waiting for that time to go. That for me is HIIT. And for people who are utilizing heavy lifting, for them to combine that with some low impact cardiovascular work, such as walking or maybe some cycling or something like that. But for me, in my opinion, the HIIT training is something that can start to bleed into the recovery of the weights, which is something that you don't want to do. I hope that makes sense.